Everybody to the Pillow Talk edition of today's two, not one, two. Wait, today's two. We do 2 streams a day here on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. The first one, High Noon, that comes to you every day at noon, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's topics, headlines, trends, I got hot takes. I got opinions. I've always had opinions. I got opinions, and that's what the day is like. It starts at noon. We all show up here. I had a lot of new people in the chat room today. That was very nice. We just sit here every day and we go, here's an example, right? Like, let's say like something that's trending right now. Paul Heyman. This is an example of what happens on the noon show. Paul Heyman is trending. I don't know who Paul Heyman is. So then we move on. F and FDA is okay. This is a really bad example. Trust, it's headlines, current events, all that kind of stuff. Then we do this show. That show is every Monday through Friday, noon to whenever. It's topics, headlines, current events. It's utilitarian. Then we come back every Monday through Thursday. We do Pugs Parker proudly present Pillow Talk on the Radio Misfits podcast platform. And James Parker joins me. And this is more conversational. This is more...
You know, that's so funny. You call your other show Utilitarian as if it is useful to get people through their day. That's so great.
It is. Just it's designed. If you don't have it, you will miss it because it's like turning on a light switch. I want to
right. It's just you giving information people can use. Like Paul Sorvino died. What was he? He was a mobster in like 18 movies. You know, that is information I like to know. I don't know if it fits the dictionary definition of utilitarian, but I like knowing that stuff.
No, it is a utility in that you need to be informed. You
do.
You need to be informed, and that's what I am doing. You need to be informed the way you need electricity. And I am here just as that light switch in your kitchen is there. When you're stumbling around in the dark because you got something, you got craving, you turn that light on, and now you can see where you're going. That's what I do for you. It is Monday. That means it's more Monday. Let's hold on to it. The train is rolling. Hi, Kelly.
Hi. Oh, is this not working again?
No, it's working really well. You're actually nice and loud.
Oh, okay, good. Because I can't hear me in my headphones, but I don't need to hear me. I hear myself all day.
It's really loud. Just bring yourself down a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know what that means, but
a little bit.
Okay. I'm turning things down in the magenta box.
Can Ed get in your computer?
He's been in my computer already today, like within the last half hour.
I hate that. And I love it. It's one of those things that I love because it's such a convenience when I don't know what I'm doing and I can just go, Ed, take over my computer. And then some guy 1,000 miles away, or in this case, maybe 1,000 feet away at this point, but he just takes over my computer and he starts doing stuff. I like it. I don't know. I think it's all right.
I don't know, but if you want to talk about Paul Sorvino, what also brings up is his daughter, Mira Sorvino.
Yeah.
Who won an Academy Award, which, yay, applause. I never will.
For Mighty Aphrodite.
Yeah. Isn't that a Woody Allen movie, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a hard no for me, dog.
Yeah. You got that story all wrong. We could go into it, but you've been programmed to know all the wrong stuff about that. Okay.
No,
that's right. The man's a genius, and he got railroaded. And
no, he didn't get railroaded.
Yeah,
he got railroaded enough.
No. All right, but we can do a whole
like, yay, she's on Jeff Lewis's House Flip show, so that's awesome. Yay, because I love that. But she worked with Woody Allen and she didn't. I don't.
What, turn him in?
Yeah, what? She worked with Woody Allen and she hasn't crucified herself publicly because of it? I mean,
you wouldn't do a project with Woody Allen?
No.
In a heartbeat. No. Genius. And so would every other self-respecting major actor out there. It all work.
I would not in a second. No.
You would.
Nope. Hard no for me.
Would.
Nope.
Pugs, I think she would.
Dude, I live in Corpus Christi.
Right. She's not an actor.
I'm going to sacrifice the rest of my self-esteem to work with him? No.
Plus, you're not an actor. Can we stop? What about your daughter?
No, she would.
There you go.
McKenna?
No, she got cast for a Woody Allen film. You would tell her to drop it.
You go right now.
McKenna, I wouldn't have to tell her to. She would never do it. You don't understand. This girl is like, I know everyone
wants to be a star. She wants to be a successful actress.
She's got these. She has these things called morals that
Principles, at least. At the very least, principles that she's standing on here.
Not do it. She wouldn't do it. I know she would do it.
I'm not an actor, but I would. It's like
she's also
in a second
22. So, she's got her whole life in front of her. But no, she wouldn't do that. I know she wouldn't.
All right.
Even if I told
so people
her
starting Harvey Weinstein films for the last 3 decades, but all of a sudden no one would work for Woody Allen. It's just be pale.
I would not. I would not work for Woody Allen.
Married his adult former
who he'd never
No,
met
not because of that.
Oh, you believe
he never met? He lived with her.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
She was raised in France by Andre Previn and his family. She came to New York and was set up by Mia with Woody to show her colleges. She came to New York when she was 19. And that's when he met her.
Yes, and they generally, Mia and Woody lived in general different households. Yeah. But no, there's too much. He was in the attic for too long with her. Like, there's too much.
No, he wasn't with her. She was 19. You're talking about
No, I'm not. I'm talking about when she was a kid. Nope, when she was a kid.
No, he never had any. She was raised. Custody of Sunyi Previn went to Andre Previn and Mia Farrow. She started adopting all these kids. She was the oldest one that was raised.
She was there.
People don't know this.
They had court supervised visitation, and he was not supposed to be alone with her at all. And he was alone with her in the attic for at least 20 minutes.
Yeah, you're talking about Dylan. You're talking about Dylan Farrow.
Yes, I am talking about Dylan. You're right. But Sunyi, come on. Like, he just really...
It was a bad relationship. Okay. At least we just... James, you want to do a monologue? I could do... I'm sorry. That's just one of my things. I know.
Sure do. Monologue.
Anti-child molestation is one of my things. Sorry.
Okay. That also happens to be one of my things as well. I just don't see where these two...
Not if your last name's Previn.
Intersect. All right. Here we go. James, let's do a monologue. Please welcome to the Comfort Nest Studio, high atop the 1%er compound in beautiful downtown. I almost said Fort Worth. Highland Park, Texas. He's funny. Ladies and gentlemen, James Hamilton Parker.
Can I have the floor, please? Or
oh my God, Kelly!
Why do you do this to me? You know I'm going to ask. I'm just going to keep doing it until it's just natural.
I'm just used to living with 4 kids. I never have anyone's attention.
You're never special.
No,
you're never special.
Never.
All right. Hey, good crowd today. Hey, 4 days after President Biden began taking the COVID drug Paxlovid, he is feeling disoriented, confused, and a little spacey, which is good news because that means there's no side effects.
He hates the president. Go ahead.
You could say that about me, too. According to a new study, inflation is making dating unaffordable, especially when all the Pugs dates charge by the hour.
Oh, my God. That's a lie. That's an outrageous lie. I can't afford the good ones.
Pugs isn't a criminal.
The ugly ones.
Bill to legalize marijuana nationwide has been introduced in the U.S. Senate, but opponents warn that pot is a gateway drug that is often used with other more dangerous substances like alcohol. Yes. Jokes that are facts.
True.
According to a new study, the job with the highest depression rate in America is an in-home caregiver, which is a surprise to me. I thought it would have been Uvalde policeman. I guess it's not too soon. Yeah, it's not too soon.
Accounting for the taste of the Monday night audience.
So the old disgraced wrestling promoter Vince McMahon has now stepped down. Did you hear about this, guys? He's leaving his big career, and his career is totally finished because I heard he just got invited to compete on Celebrity Big Brother. I think your career's over because that show sucks. All right, you can learn a lot also watching Shark Week. It's this week. It just started yesterday. For example, did you know that sharks enjoy rap music, Pugs and Kelly?
Kelly, did you know that?
It's
not
true.
aware of the dislikes. I'll have to check my Match.com profile and see if any sharks responded.
Yeah, so in the shark community, their favorite rapper is MC Hammerhead. MC.
Come on, he's working hard. Fish jokes, people.
It's a long setup. I get it. A bunch of Kid Rock fans trashed North Dakota arena when the singer's concert was abruptly canceled. And hopefully this isolated incident won't reflect poorly on all white trash. Honey Boo Boo and her sister Pumpkin. What'd you think her name was going to be? They're getting their own reality show. I'm not sure what the details are, but they're probably doing something really smart, like curing cancer, or because there's they're like curing cancer. Yeah, they're probably doing something really smart. You think Honey Boo Boo and Pumpkin are going to have an intelligent show? All right, and
finally, they got more money than I do.
So. Yeah,
they're doing something Monologue. Smart. Yeah. And finally, a belated happy birthday to TV's Wonder Woman, Linda Carter. I don't want to say she's getting old, but these days her only superpower is knitting.
Oh! And noticing when someone's garage door has been open all day.
Oh, no, that's me. I noticed that. Yeah.
That was always an old lady thing.
No,
the garage door's been open all day.
Jeff likes to leave our garage doors open when he wakes up in the morning. And I think that's the universal symbol to the other guys that it means you can come over and drink beer and we'll do yard work.
And Kelly, I believe you're right. And I think
absolutely what happens
in the 1980s.
Yep.
You are absolutely onto something. The open garage door, especially in the working class, middle class neighborhood, is a sign that we are open for business.
We shovel rocks in everyone's driveways, even while we pay people to do it in ours. But James he goes to another one and does it.
James, Kelly has just described a phenomena that I've really only seen because of my experience in I guess northern urban communities. Is that the garage door being open on a Saturday? Is that pretty much universal? Is that in rural America as well?
Well, a great source material for this is the documentary King of the Hill, which is completely accurate. It depends on your neighborhood. Like where I grew up, no, that wasn't cool because I couldn't see another house with a garage from anywhere on my property, right? But in the neighborhood I'm at now, yeah, like in fact, the old lady that's across the street and one house to the right, she has her garage door open all the time. She has a table set up there. She watches her grandkids during the day, and she's just like jacking around at a table. She's retired. She doesn't care. And the dude that's right next to me, he just retired too. And so he's always dicking around with something in his garage with the door open. He's fixing a fan, or he's washing out, or he's power washing the driveway or something.
Yeah, Kelly, give us Jeff's top 3 garage activities. What's he out there doing? His top 3.
Okay, pressure washing. He uses the pressure washer on the driveway. Gotcha. It's very important that we have a very dirt-free driveway. Mm-hmm. Our front yard's a fucking mess, but that's something else. Also, he's trying to set up his dad's train set in the garage.
The man needs a hobby. You're damn right.
Yeah. And
just an excuse to drink, James. James is trying to figure that one out. That's just an excuse to drink alone in the garage and think about dad. That's all that is.
Cleaning out the garage. Right. But nothing ever gets done.
It's a 10-year project. You got to have sentimental moments with everything that he finds.
But we have our next 3 neighbors. They all they get together and they clean out. Like we've got this pond, I guess, in our front lawn that was supposed to be taken over. Long story. But for some reason, Jeff and the other 2 neighbors have taken it upon themselves to keep that area clean, and they mow it and stuff.
Look at you guys.
We're under no responsibility for that. No, we're not.
Citizens. You're involved.
Good citizens. Jesus
well, come on. That's good. Getting involved in your community. That's a good
Why are we paying a POA if they're just going to do it themselves?
Well, and will the POA do it?
No, they won't.
Well, then that's why. There's
well, then why are we paying the POA? Then we should just say, we're not going to pay you if you're not going to take care of it.
Don't get me started with the HOA or don't get me started with those systems.
Lose situation. You can never win.
James, on this Monday night, you got anything?
Yeah, I want to start with poking at Kelly. When's the last time you argued, and what'd you argue about?
Oh, okay. Here we go.
When's the last time I argued?
You and the husband, you're noted for having squabbles.
Oh my God, I know, but it's so hard to nail down. Well, there's arguments about what we're gonna wear to my mom's celebration of life. We have that going for us now. We've
All right,
got
so hold on. Let me explain something to James, though. She only comes on once a week. You're telling me that you find it odd that a married couple could have a squabble during a 7-day period? I think that's normal. In fact, if you just have one fight a week.
Oh, I argued about our dinner.
No.
You're doing pretty good.
I argued about disciplining my kids.
It's not that.
My kids were little assholes today when I dropped them off for fucking football camp when their brother is a coach at the school. Like, really? Nothing like being called upon as the bad mom by your son.
Whoa.
Like, really?
What'd you do? You hadn't completely sobered up before you loaded them up in the car and took them down to camp? What could you have possibly done?
My 8-year-old spent exactly 10 minutes running on the track, and then he went and threw up due to heat exhaustion. Yeah, get over it, dude. We live in South frickin' Texas.
8-year-olds are absolutely useless. We've all had experience with 8-year-olds. Isn't that one of the worst ages? Because they're not cute enough to get away with half the shit they think they can still get away with. And yet they can get away with even worse things because now they're starting to grow into little deviants.
And then my 10-year-old comes over to me when I go to pick them up 2 hours later. And he's like, Lachlan threw up and I took a drink out of his water bottle and now I feel sick. I'm like, you did not catch heat exhaustion from your brother.
That did not happen. You got a little drama boy.
And then because he's one of the coach's sons, the head coach went over and talked to my oldest son and said, hey, by the way, your brothers are puking. Just show up and be like normal kids. Don't like the drills, but do them anyway. Like, come on.
Okay, so that doesn't sound like a fight with your husband, though.
No, but then I had to tell my husband because we're pseudo planning a Disney trip in 2 months. And I told the boys, the youngest two.
Why does that sound like an ordeal? Pseudo planning a Disney trip.
Because I love Disney, but I hate them at the same time. I love them, but I hate them. I hate what they're going through right now. But my daughter and I still want to go to Food and Wine. Anyway, so I told the boys, well, if you can't make it through football, you can't make it through a day in Disney park. So I guess you can't come.
There you go. That sounds fair.
It's not bad. I like that.
And true, because to be honest, I don't want them to go. I'm bringing them because I feel guilty.
You just want to go with McKenna.
Oh, McKenna and I'd have a great time, for sure.
Kids ruin Disney.
But the boys aren't going to have wine.
No.
And they barely want food.
Really?
So
yeah.
I mean,
so then Jeff was just like, I don't want to spend my money over there. Now are we going to use points? How are we going to spend money in the air flight? And who's all going to so now it's a big thing. Oh, God.
It's not okay. Look, here's the deal. Can I just really sense question?
Sure.
In 10 years, Kelly, what is the percent chance that you're still going to be married in 10 years? In 2032, is it a 50-50?
Oh, what the hell kind of question is that? 70-30? I don't like that.
It's an unfair question.
If you ask Declan and McKenna, they'd say 20% chance we're still married. But I don't know. I'm at 40.
Oh, God. 40.
That's why I asked. Yeah, you thought it was a bad question.
Maybe 50. I don't know. No, it's just it. You can deal with minimal fights over and over again. But past the 14-year mark, you get oh, Jesus Christ. I just want to go to the freaking mall by myself. Can everybody just shut up and can I just go do that?
Dude, I hear that every time you get on.
The older I get, the more I just get
then you're going to immediately start looking for another guy. That's what you're going to do. You're going to get single and you're going to immediately start looking. No, you're not going to be on that.
I tell Jeff that I will go and do that. I tell Jeff I will. But in all honesty,
emotional blackmail. That's cool.
Telling you, being alone, if you are in the perfect position to be alone, Kelly, let me tell you something. Because you got what, 4 kids?
Yeah.
All right. So you got 4 kids. You got 2 of them that are old enough right now. If something terrible were to happen to you right now, living alone in your apartment, you got 2 kids that are capable of taking care of you. Then when they get tired of it, you got 2 younger kids who in 10, 15 years can step in. You are fine. You are built to be alone, living in an apartment with cats. You have 4 kids that will come check on you all the time. Oh, you got it wired if you so desire that lifestyle.
I will absolutely be okay.
Yeah. You need to get 2 girlfriends and y'all get a house like the Golden Girls or something.
Why do I have more roommates? I don't want any more roommates.
No. I don't want nobody. James, this is something that I sort of came crashing into about 5-6 years ago. Sometimes you hit a point in your life where you realize I've met and been nice to all the people I want to meet and be nice to. I want to just be alone now. I just want to be alone. And I have... Look,
guess what? I want microwave popcorn for dinner, and I'm not making you guys shit. Figure it out yourself.
Look, but don't you, like, when you go somewhere and you see something cool, don't you want to have someone to turn that's next to you to be like, hey, isn't that awesome? Like, don't you want to share?
Wouldn't that be nice? No, they're gonna shit on me.
No, yeah,
that's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
People like the shit.
What about sex? Don't you have?
I would like to, but it doesn't always.
What do you do about that?
Planned. I'll find a way.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. She'll find someone to satisfy her sexual needs. It's dudes who have it. It's me. I got a problem with that, which is good that I have low testosterone and I'm just like,
So a handful of booty calls to fill that role then, right? You could live alone, have some calls.
Oh, God. Do I have to make him dinner? And
wait, you're saying he has booty?
Okay. He could.
Hey, we old people, we're going to be
saying
on,
Jeff
like,
has booty
Grindr
called right now?
No, I've actually told him. I don't care.
Hey, is Grindr the gay one?
It is one of them.
Grindr's the gay one, Pugs.
What's the straight one? And why was my default? Because I just said
Tinder.
Old people are going to be on Grindr. Tinder, that's the straight one. Yeah. It's just going to be filled with like old people who are like divorced for the second time or just looking to hook up. I'm telling you, that's going to be a thing. If it isn't,
I don't know if eHarmony and Match have some kind of like a time thing, but like I've gotten more solicitations from Match.com. And I'm like, did you just figure that I've been married for 14 years, so I might want out, so you're going to give me my options? Like, because no. Not.
Hey, they probably have an algorithm for that.
That's what I'm saying. I think they do. Let's pull this chick up. She signed up in 2007. Let's check in on her now. Time's about up.
Time, right.
Yeah.
Our algorithm says she's a hot one.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else want to beat up on Kelly's relationships?
No, I'm good.
Just me. I can do it for the next hour. We don't need to hear it.
He's good. Kelly,
but I still don't know what's the last thing you argued about.
The Disney trip.
Didn't I tell you? Yeah, Disney trip.
Okay,
and
you're right.
Switching dinner, and then the boys with football camp, and then I got to take my car in to get an oil change. Just anything.
All right, now that we set up the first sound clip, Pugs, will you pull up the Sam Kinnison MP3 that's in the next email I sent to you after the monologue? No, I think you would appreciate it.
He's been dead longer than I've been married.
Yes, he has. A lot of people have.
It's pulled up. What are we listening to it?
Sam Kinnison, yes.
For 2 years, my life was so boring, I actually worried about my yard. The rest of my friends had goals, careers, visions. They were doing things with their lives. I was out there looking for crabgrass, weeds and stuff, going, I have a responsibility to the neighborhood. There is a weed here. And then that doesn't happen. You have kids. Have you seen those guys? Those guys in the malls with the strollers. Have you seen them? With that look on their face like they envy the dead. Somebody shoot me! This isn't a mall. I'm in hell!
Oh, how great was Sam Kinnison?
Okay, so that is not my marriage experience, but Sam Kinnison made an entire career because that message did resonate with a number of people who had a similar marriage experience. Kelly, I heard that and I thought of you.
You should. Because I live next to an empty lot owned by somebody who I think lives in Sweden or somewhere not in this country. And us and our 2 doors down neighbors spend the money to get that lot mowed every 2 weeks. We pay for it ourselves. Why? I don't know. It's not ours.
You have a responsibility to the neighborhood.
Yeah,
right.
That's exactly what they take on. Hence, while they're mowing around the freaking pond, Everybody does it around here.
You live in, this is what you're supposed to do. You live in Texas. You pay no taxes on anything. Okay. You're supposed to be kicking it a little bit of, for the community, right? Isn't that what it's all about? Doesn't it take a village? You're part of that village.
I've got multiple homes, so we have to pay taxes.
Well, alrighty then.
No, we don't have to pay property tax on our house that we live in because Jeff is 100% disabled. But don't tell him that. Yeah, he's 100% disabled from the military.
What's wrong with him?
Honestly,
that means he can't do like two of 6 daily functions of life. Like he's
no.
Hold on, let's not get him in any trouble. Wait a second. Stop, everybody. We are streaming live, so let's not get him in any trouble.
What's that CPAP machine that you need? Not narcolepsy.
To sleep?
Yeah. Apnea. You sleep. That's 50% in the military if you have that.
Really? Mm-hmm. Why? Because as a pilot, did he wear something like his breathing or
no? But he also has other problems, but partly due to those commercials that they run about, like, have you been around Roundup and you have cancer? He grew up working in orchards, so he's got a bunch of cancer problem things happening.
The glyphosate.
Okay, all right. So he's got some.
So he's got liver problems, not hepatitis 3. That was what worried me.
Oh my God.
Another one. He's got prostate problems.
Hold on,
kidney
Kelly,
problems.
You do realize you can't leave him now. I didn't realize all.
No, I do know that.
You can't.
I tried.
No, now this is like a completely different thing.
But, I mean, prostate problems.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's not like he kicked a door in Fallujah and someone shot his prostate. How does that get roped?
No, his dad just died of prostate cancer, as did my dad. Thanks, James.
Oh, that's the glyphosate thing. Yeah, he has
a PSA of like 12 point something, and he had to take medication to take it down to kill his testosterone down to get it to a 6, which is still not great. But you guys should know that more than me. And getting older just freaking sucks. I can't take weight off like I used to. This hair coloring thing is annoying.
Just ignore it. Just ignore it. Just don't look at mirrors. Just think of yourself the way you want to think of yourself. Just be happy.
I went back to Schwartz's friend and had more Botox.
Jeez. All right.
I'm in that phase when you call your parents. The first 4 minutes of the conversation is going to be their medical updates. Hey, how you doing? Well, I went and saw the doctor yesterday, and he said I was taking too much of the Eliquis, so they're gonna like half my dose on that, and that's cool because it was kind of drying me out, and that's the reason I was taking this other one. So if that works out, I'm not gonna have.
Well, Pugs only has his mom, and I have no parents, so I don't know who you're talking to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you've been in that phase of life. God,
I know it
ruin
sucks.
everything.
It does suck.
Go mow your neighbor's lawn.
No, I don't do it. I have to do it.
Wait, hold on. I want to make a comment on you just stopping the show to play that Sam Kinnison thing because I thought it was really interesting. I mean, I don't think I've paid any attention to Sam Kinnison in years, right? I mean, it's not like there's a reason that that was just random, that you just found a piece of comedy yesterday.
That made me think of Kelly. Yeah.
But here's
that bums me out. Crabgrass makes you think of me.
It's the whole weird small world sort of thing we got going on yesterday. Hadn't thought of Sam Kinnison in a decade. My kid and I, because we can't agree on stuff that I want to listen to when we're going to do talk, because you don't listen to. Oh, what a surprise. A 13-year-old from Plano doesn't want to hear White Sox talk from a sports station in Chicago. So we fight. We fight about so we compromise. So he's found this really great YouTube channel that's just got all of these stand-up comedians just doing. So we listen to that when we're in the car. Music, but mostly talk.
Well, what is it?
I don't know what channel it is. I don't know. It's something that he likes. It's just a bunch of it's like
one-liners. Kinnison yesterday?
So a Kinnison one popped up, and you just played the Kinnison bit about being a parent, about the just kill me thing. But the one that my son saw was the one, and he had never heard. Sam Kinnison did not exist in his universe until about 2:30 p.m. yesterday. Right? It wasn't something that he'd ever considered, ever thought, ever heard, ever expected. And he saw the bit where he talks about. The Sam Kinnison bit where he talks about going to Africa and bringing them food because they're starving. And, of course, his big eruption is nothing grows here.
In the U-Hauls.
Right. Move to where the food is. Nothing
we have
grows
deserts here, but we don't live there.
Yeah. So he's watching that. And I'm looking over at him and I'm watching. I watched my 13-year-old's jaw absolutely hit the ground hearing Sam Kinnison for the first time. Something that people of our generation, we take for granted because he's just kind of always been there and we're used to him. But if you could go back to the first time you saw how original that guy's act, it was. I saw that in a 13-year-old who just sat there and went, wow, this is hysterical. He was blown away. I thought that was really cool. And then here you are, you're playing some Sam Kinnison for me today. So small world. All right, Kelly, do you have anything, or James, you got anything else you want to jump in with? Anybody?
No, and Sam Kinnison, who died by being hit by a drunk driver when he quit alcohol.
What's that, Kelly?
I said Sam Kinnison, who was killed by a drunk driver after he quit drinking. Yeah. It's like, it sucks, but is it karma? Or does it completely... I don't wish anyone's death, but it just seemed like, really?
It factors into the reason I don't go to church. I'll tell you that. Yeah. I think it's proof that there isn't a God when stuff like that happens.
Or is there? Like, you thought you could escape this, but you can't.
God's...
What, right, James, God what am I going to now?
He's a dick.
Oh, we are not.
All right, so the next one is...
conversation.
It's got a dick. Maybe he's real and he's a dick.
I don't think you can be God and be a dick. Pugs just checked out.
Think about it. All right.
I'm not going to debate
the
existence of God on the Pillow Talk show. I'm not going to do it. James, what's the other soundbite you got?
Okay, so y'all remember Me If You Can?
The movie?
Tom Hanks, Leo
Chris
DiCaprio.
Hansen, right?
Yeah.
Chris. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was thinking, what is it? Catch a Predator. Okay, Catch Me If You Can. Tom Hanks, Leonardo DiCaprio, true story about the con man who jumped around from job to job, right?
Yeah, and Leonardo DiCaprio pretended to be an airline pilot, then he pretended to be like a doctor, and then he pretended to be a lawyer, and he was getting away with it, and Tom Hanks was the wily FBI agent or whatever that was tracking him down. His real name's Frank Abagnale.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so Frank Abagnale is not nearly as smooth and handsome as portrayed by Leo DiCaprio, but I found a clip of him on the Johnny Carson show in what looks like 1981.
Right.
And so it's through and he tells a whole bunch of stories. Now, most of the stories he tells are actually depicted 20 years later in Catch Me If You Can. But I found one story that I had never heard from him before. And this is this has to be the most boss moves of a con man I can think. Like, this doesn't even sound real, but I'm 90% sure this really happened. So this is Frank Abagnale on Johnny Carson, who's making his funny Johnny Carson's face during the.
Now, is this just
incredible?
Is this just audio we're listening to here?
This is just the audio. I sent you the MP3 of Frank Abagnale on Johnny Carson, where he's.
I was in Miami and I was posing as a wealthy stockbroker, which was a front for passing checks. And I had rented a Rolls Royce with a chauffeur. I was about 18 at the time, and I was staying at the Fontainebleau Hotel for about $500 a day. Had a penthouse, and all of this was a front for me. And I met a city councilman in Miami, and he was very impressed, thought I was about 32, very wealthy, and he invited me to a party they were giving for the mayor of Miami at the mayor's home. And while I was there, I ran into a gorgeous model, a well-known model at that time. And one of the guests came over and said, kind of have to watch her. He said, if you were thinking about taking her back to your room this evening, it would cost you a great deal of money, so watch yourself.
A lady's evening.
Right. So when I got talking with her, I said, how much would it cost me to take you back to my room for the rest of the evening? And she said, well, how much do you think I'm worth? Being 18, I had no idea how much she was worth. But
about $50.
But I offered $300, and she said, no,
I'd go back to your room with you for $300.
She said, that's a little bit too low. So I said, okay, well, what if I doubled it and made it $600? And she said, well, that's a little more like it. I said, I'll tell you what, we'll be here all night. I'll tell you what, why don't you just take me back to your hotel room for 2 hours, and I'll pay you $1,000 in cash in advance. She said, let's go. So we went back to her hotel, and she was opening her door, and I said, now I'll be right back. She said, wait a minute, where are you going? I said, well, I don't carry $1,000 on me. I'm going downstairs in the lobby, cash a check. I'll be right back. She said, this hotel isn't going to cash a check at this hour of the morning for $1,000. I said, first of all, I own 35% of this hotel. Never been in it in my life, of course. And I said, this is a cashier's certified check. I said, just like gold, they'll cash it. She said, let me see. This is a cashier's check. Why don't you just make it out to me? I said, are you crazy? I said, this check is for $1,400. We already agreed on $1,000. So she gave me 400 change, and that's what it cost me.
That's a boss move.
Yeah.
He got the hooker to pay him $400 for a fake cashier's check, and he still got to enjoy her services for the night.
That's not cool.
Kelly, you're not impressed?
No,
I'm impressed. Yeah, I am impressed. That is a pretty, and it's probably true because that movie. I mean, they made them. I guess enough of his exploits have been vetted to the point that they, was it George Lucas or Martin Scorsese? Who some big director made that movie? It was not.
It was Spielberg, I think.
Was Spielberg? There you go. Yeah, I knew it was a big one. There you go. You had to come up with the biggest one.
Don't rip off a hooker. Her life already sucks. What, are you going to take her for more money and make her do stuff for free?
Oh, really? Don't rip off a hooker? What's so awful about me that you got to get paid to show me a little affection?
Because you're willing to do it. If you could get it for free, you would.
Oh, and I'm just such a troll. I'm just look, this is a no harm, no foul situation. We don't need to take sides. It was a good move. It was an interesting move from a
he ripped her off. It's not like she's broke.
Yeah. I mean, she's a super expensive,
you just can't rip people off because they have more money than we do.
This is not a waitress.
You can't.
This is a different.
I'm not saying he's morally correct, but there's a certain sweet karmic justice of getting a hooker to pay you for sex, because that's what he did.
Well, I don't know that I see it as a sweet. I just don't. I see it as victimless. I said I had to have sex with him, and I didn't even get money for it. See, I see.
Well, she could have gotten money from somebody else who was willing to pay for it, because clearly that's why she's there.
Okay, it's a loss, but again,
she's working.
I ask. All right. Hey, on this same thing, I got something I want to show you. And James, did you have more on that?
Frank Abagnale's story.
Yeah.
Not really. I just thought that was a fantastic 2 minutes of audio.
What's this other thing you got? What's this other? Is it worth going into? Fox 35?
Yeah. So this other one's a Floridiots segment. And there's like three. I wish I could break this down into 3 different parts, but I mean, you kind of have to hear it all together. Y'all ready for a Floridiot story?
Yeah, sure. From
all right. First
James
off,
Parker,
let me tell you, when they show you the dash cam from the police car of the woman that's being described here in the parking lot, what they don't tell you is that it's raining, and I don't mean it's like a delightful little drizzle. I mean it's like for real raining down when all this is happening. So I can't believe they left.
Maybe
is this just
it's
audio?
Pretty bad.
Again?
It's pretty like. Yeah, this is just audio again. But it's interesting because this is a lady where a pitchfork makes an appearance, teddy bears, and I've never heard of a minivan getting stabbed. But I mean, this story just has so much.
All right, let's give it a listen. Here we go.
New video tonight of a bizarre arrest in Lake County. A woman armed with a pitchfork and a whip was trying to sell teddy bears outside of a Publix store.
This is dash cam video from a Florida trooper squad car pulling up to the store. Troopers say 56-year-old Lisa Sloan was pointing a whip at the trooper, but this incident did not stop at the Publix. Things got chaotic after the trooper got Sloan into the car.
Oh, please, Baker Act me! Baker Act me! Baker Act me! Let me out! Let me out!
James, what is she screaming?
What is happening?
I don't know what she's screaming at first, but she's about to start screaming "God is great," which I like because it's the English translation of Allahu Akbar, which is kind of the Florida version.
God's great! God's great!
Investigators say Sloan stabbed a minivan with a pitchfork before.
That was on the news.
She stabbed a minivan with a pitchfork.
We'll go back. But that was on the news, just like 30 seconds of this?
Investigators say Sloan stabbed a
every day.
With
Okay, she's
pitchfork before she was arrested. Troopers say she appeared to be under the influence of a minivan with a pitchfork before she was arrested. Troopers say she appeared to be under the influence of some sort of stimulant drug.
Some kind of stimulant drug.
No.
Hey, whatever happened with bath salts? Remember when that was a big thing? And then like no more bath salt stories for like the last 10 years? But like 10 years ago, a guy in Miami ate someone's face off and then suddenly bath salts was going to be the end of Western civilization.
Yeah, I never got to try that. You know, the face eating was actually a turnoff for me. As experimental as I've been with my chemical intake, bath salt seemed like a step too far.
Well, I wasn't sure. What do you don't take baths with them, right?
Well, because bath salts are a real thing. There's like a real thing.
No, I know, but like, how do you ingest?
I think you snort them.
I
think,
yeah, you smoke them.
You snort them.
You smoke them? In what?
Smoke them in like one of them crack pipes, like one of those little glass things you get at the gas station that has a rose in it. You know, you smoke in one of those things.
Do they still sell those?
Sure they do.
Oh my God, yes. You're just living in a nice
as long as they sell
gas
drugs,
station roses,
they're gonna sell those. Yeah. As long as people like crack, gas stations are gonna just randomly sell.
Buy something a little bit
in a
like
crack pipe.
Nicer.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's nicer than a rose, Kelly? All right. Hey, so did y'all notice how this
rose out?
Right. Did y'all notice how the story started though? She was in trouble for trying to sell teddy bears in the parking lot. And Publix, for those who don't know, is the grocery store chain, the regional grocery store chain there.
Yeah.
So
it's the HEB.
Teddy bears.
She had a whip and a pitchfork.
But when the cops show up, she does have a whip and a pitchfork. How do you get all three of these things on the same lady? And she's 56. Isn't this a little old to be running around out on drugs, trying to sell teddy bears, stabbing minivans with a pitchfork? And
James, I don't know what you're talking.
Got a pitchfork, man. That is going in for a story. Anyone with a pitchfork is not up to any good.
She is still, obviously, James, no matter what you think of her addiction, she is still fully functioning. She is running her business to the best that she knows. She's still out there in the rain, no less, selling her teddy bears.
Well, unlike you. Yeah, but unlike you, Pug, she still believes in God. She's not a godless atheist. When you're trying to kick out the window of a SWAT, she is recognizing that God is great. Another one on my side.
Is God going to respond to her 1099?
Yeah, no. They're
you can have a 1099 selling things out of your car.
James, this is a great segue for something that I wanted to go with today. So let me share this with you guys. You are right, James. God is great. And God is great. The English translation of what?
Allahu Akbar.
That's right. Allahu Akbar. God is
Arabic.
Great. Okay. What God are we talking about, James? Are we is that lady's God the same God as the people who yell Allah Akbar? Because hold on, Mr. Popular right here. Did you see this today? Do you know what Gnome is? Neom,
Alaska
is one of no, but very good on you. It is a place. It is okay. So we all know about Bin Salman Ding Dong over there in Saudi Arabia and what a bad guy he is, right? Because he killed Khashoggi and all that, right? So terrible guy. We're not supposed to have any feelings.
That's what all the cool kids are calling him.
MBS, exactly. So we're not supposed to have anything. Do you guys know, like, okay, if that's all you know about MBS, that he's a terrible, murderous thug, then you're doing yourself a disservice. Gnome, Neom, is a project. It's the project of his reign. It's like, some pharaoh built pyramids, right? This is what he is building. $500 billion project in the desert called Gnome. It is a city. He is building the most modern, the most futuristic city, completely enclosed in a 75-mile wide skyscraper. It is 75 miles from side to side and taller than the Empire State Building.
And he's funding it by selling teddy bears out of his car.
He is not. He is. Certainly a great deal of it would be what many would consider blood money. But I always talk about how people are complicated. Is he a bloodthirsty madman who had Khashoggi murdered just because he was writing unfavorable things? Yes, he is that. Is he also a guy who, like 1,000 years from now, they might go, whoa, look at what this guy built during his reign in Saudi Arabia. Let me show you what he's building, okay? Before you roll your eyes and think, this is a very real project. Here, yeah. Okay, so this was released today. They've been talking about it for 5 years, but today is the day that it kind of was unveiled. And they say that this is one of the things that he and Biden talked about recently about this new city. James, it may be a different God than your God, but whoever these people's God is, oh boy, they're going to be life. Watch this.
Humanity has existed within dysfunctional and polluted cities that ignore nature.
Watch this.
Now, a revolution in civilization is taking place. Imagine a traditional city and consolidating its footprint, designing to protect and enhance nature. The line will be home to 9 million residents and will be built with a footprint of just 34 square kilometers. And we are designing it to provide a healthier, more sustainable quality of life. The line's communities are organized in 3 dimensions. Residents have access to all their daily needs within 5-minute walk neighborhoods. And the line's infrastructure makes it possible to travel end to end in 20 minutes with no need for cars, resulting in 0 carbon emissions. By leveraging AI technology, services are autonomous, saving you time and effort. Designed by world-leading architects, the line is 500 meters tall, 200 meters wide, 170 kilometers long, and housed within an elegant mirror glass facade. Intelligent solutions create efficiency and year-round temperate microclimate with natural ventilation. Energy and water supplies are 100% renewable. The line is designed as a series of unique communities, offering a wealth of amenities, providing equitable views and immediate access to the surrounding nature. With 40% of the world accessible within 6 hours, at the heart
put
of
a little airport right there.
Routes, a place for commerce and communities to thrive like nothing on Earth seen before.
Look at that space.
The line, the city that delivers new wonders for the world.
Gnome. I don't even know how to say it. Gnome.
All right, first question. Can I have the first question?
No, first, how about a round of applause for their God? Their God's giving some people some good ideas.
I know about this from the Real Housewives of Dubai.
Oh, no.
Embarrassing. Honest to God. I don't even watch the series, but they were talking about this thing being created and who was going to live there.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking, because I think they're like 75 miles or something from like the trash compact. I had a whole bunch of like real life things that I was trying to wrap my head around. But either way, why the hell is Bravo my source of information on this?
because you only consume podcasts.
But I don't watch Dubai because I'm morally against it. But
Bravo, that's why.
James, go ahead. Your thoughts on Gnome, MBS's dream city, $500 billion dream city being carved out of the desert. Yeah.
I have a question for the Saudi king. Are Jews allowed? Are Jews going to be allowed?
Yes, I believe that is a very good question. I would ask that at the press.
We're taking us into the future. This is all going to be. This is going to be for the greater good. We're taking humanity to another level. Well, are Jews involved? Hell no. No. They can't come into the country.
I bet you there are some Jews involved in the financing at some level because this is people from all over the Middle East involved. Yeah, I'm sure that there's
hardcore Chicagoans involved in this.
Look, MBS, I don't know. Is he like a hardcore, like all Jews must? He's not a radical. He does business with us. If we had a Jewish president, he'd be totally cool with us. Yes, I'm sure Jews are fine. I'm sure MBS is fine with. No,
they're not allowed in Saudi Arabia right now.
What's that?
But I mean, they're not allowed in the country right now. If you're an Israeli Jew, you are not allowed to travel to Saudi Arabia. So Jews are not allowed in this wall. So you know,
you don't want to go there. Yeah, you don't want to go there.
Well, look, like the Real Housewives of Dubai say.
I know it's just fun.
They say It's not that they can't wear sleeveless things or go out without something around their head. It's just that it would be disrespectful to do so, so they choose not to. It's not that they're not allowed. They just make the choice not to do it.
Okay. Well, whatever gets them through. Why
Sure.
am I so
Well,
angry
I
at people trying to
defer to
justify
the Real Housewives. Yeah.
Their
Well, no,
husband.
it's just like saying, like, it's not that I want to leave the house. It's just that my husband will beat me if I leave the house, so I choose not to. It's my choice.
Look at the Kelly. You're talking about a bunch of women who, through professional choices, I'm guessing that their husbands made, have found themselves living in an ashtray like 5,000 miles away.
Oh
from
no,
anything.
they're rich chicks.
Yeah.
But they just do it out of respect. It's not because they can't, because they could wear a bikini if they wanted to. They just choose not to, out of respect.
James, your thoughts on any other thoughts on the Gnome project? See, I wouldn't have gone with will Jews be allowed? I'd have been, why is the guy who has made all of this money off of fossil fuels building and creating the world's most ambitious green project? Because that's what it is. He is proudly, Mr. Oil is proudly saying this is the world's most ambitious and largest eco-friendly green project in history. That's one of the big things that, he's.
Well, look, that's what everybody puts on their new projects these days. This is so eco-friendly. But what this has like kind of smells of, or the same energy as, is the Dubai Palm Island project.
Yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's still there. Yeah, Palm Island is there was just an F1 race over in that area, and they were showcasing the Palm Islands.
It was very environmentally friendly. How did they make those beaches again?
Right, these big dredgers, that ran on oil.
Great. Yeah.
So you have the Palm Island project, and then right outside of that, they were doing there was two Palm Island projects, and then they were doing the man-made islands that were supposed to do sort of like a map of the globe. Do you remember all this?
Yeah, they do the most awesome shit anywhere over in that part of the world.
I know
the greatest architectural achievements.
Like I think
years are being done there. They've got like the 10 tallest buildings in the world at this point.
Like that, but like Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt bought one of those little islands on there, and here we are like 10 years after the project started, and it's not where they said it would be. And I don't call something a failure just because it's behind schedule, but it hasn't lived. These grandiose projects that get a lot of pub and they seem really cool, they just have a tendency to not end up being as cool 10 years down the line when some of the promises don't work out. So I think this is going to be built, or at least part of it's going to be built. It may work pretty cool. And I credit the guy for at least trying to revolutionize the way we've arranged society. But, let's not get too excited because these other projects kind of fizzle out.
Well, let me ask you this, James. How long did it take the pyramids to be built? Because I'm sure there was probably a guy who was like, the version of an AM talk radio guy in Cairo, 200 years after they began constructing the pyramids. Going, where is all this money going? I need to know. We've had slaves. We've been building this for 200 years. When is it going to be done? It probably took like 1,000 years, right, to do so.
Aren't they still working on them?
They're still working on. Well, yeah, they're in a constant state of being fixed.
If this was the Egyptians in 2000 BC, I'd be a little less skeptical. But this is the Saudis in modern times, and really look that some of these projects do work out. So I'm not totally like pessimistic and dogging it. Let's not get our hopes up too much that it doesn't live up to the hype of the promo video, because it has been our observation throughout our lifetimes that so many of these fall flat. And yes, there are some pyramids out there that stand the test of time. They're kind of few and far between. And I really hope this is like a pyramid achievement when we look back on this through history, and it's not another one of these kind of duds that doesn't live up to the hype.
He's thinking big. He's making a major cut. He's thinking big. He's not just, trying to amass as much generational wealth.
He cares about the resources on Earth. That's why. Because that's what he wants to do.
After his family has been
nothing to do with money. Nope.
He's a complicated guy. Yes, he's a cold-blooded, bloodthirsty monster. When you try and write a story in the local paper about what a bad guy he is, he will murder you. But also, people are complicated. There are other aspects. There are other I think this is a really cool project. And it's just the latest. When I saw this today going around, it started to trend about 3:00 this afternoon. When I saw this trending, I thought, we can't even, what's the last really, it took us like 20 years to rebuild the World Trade Center. And it was just one. But somehow over in like Dubai and all of these, they are building these Jetson lands every 5 years. There's like, so they're going to have, make no mistake, that's where the flying cars will be first, Kelly. It'll be in Dubai. There will be roads
I'm
for
still
flying
not
cars.
going there. No.
Well, I would go to Dubai. I would go to Dubai.
I would never.
James, is it just the Middle East in general, Kelly? Or is it, because like, I would go to Jordan. I would go to Dubai. I would go to Egypt. I mean, I don't want to.
I got to know the rules. I'd always
I
want
don't
to go
know.
to Egypt.
Bro,
They're
so
safe
like,
countries.
there are people that go to jail for like getting a handy in public. I can't go to those
Don't
places.
get a handy in public, you
I'm
pervert.
stupid, okay?
We're not all sex tourists, James. Some of us are just going to see the sand.
I know, but I kind of avoid the I don't know, who am I kidding? I can't even travel. I'm fucking broke, like wasn't gonna go anyway. They don't need my tourism dollars. I can barely make it to Mexico every once in a while, dude.
But if you can go to jail for getting a handy in public, you could certainly go to jail for someone saying you got a handy in public when you did not. So no, it's a no.
Good point. Good point. I got a lot of places I visit, and Dubai's not like bottom on the list, but it's not in the top 10.
Here's why that's not a real concern, Kelly, because in a place like Dubai, if someone's going to claim that I got a handy in public and I didn't, the other part about Dubai, it's so technical. There are cameras everywhere. They'll see me. They'll see that I didn't get a handy in public. They will see that because they've got.
So you're relying on the justice system.
No, I'm relying on the observance state of some dictatorship in the Middle East to have cameras everywhere watching everything. So
also, there's a fun little cultural overlap, though, not with necessarily America in general, but more Texas and sort of the dominant culture of the South. Because like if you put
they're both
in the room together, we'd be dressed a little different. They'd be like, "Who into?" No, no, but it's like it'd be like, "Hey, well, I really like worshiping God and guns and oil. I like drilling oil." They're, no kidding. I think we should be best friends. Right? Well, I mean, we get along great. We're religious. We like to just shoot things in the air when we get excited. Wars happen a lot. But we got that. I could see them being maybe not best friends, but we're pretty friends with the Saudis. I like Saudis.
Texans don't like Muslims.
Muslims in general, I'm indifferent. Yeah, dude, you know how much overlap? You know how many friends are in Saudi Arabia, just like shaking hands across the world, making millions, if not billions of dollars right now? Hell yeah, we're friends with the Saudis.
The Bushes were like best friends with all of these people, these MBS people or whoever they are. They were tight. Remember?
I know, right?
He got the Bin Laden family out of America like 12 hours after the towers went down.
Yeah.
I mean,
tell me we're not friends.
And besides, I don't know what you're talking about.
There's
Kelly.
some things I'm kind of.
Hold on, Kelly. MBS let you ladies drive now. He's the one who did that just a couple of years ago.
Awesome.
He said, you know what? This is crazy that women can't drive.
My hero.
Wow.
He did something that nobody before him did. Come on, you can't give him credit for that. For when he became Crown Prince, the first thing he did was he said, "This is crazy." And he also has reopened the women's schools. He's very progressive with all of this stuff. This is why it's very complicated with Americans just being programmed to hate this guy.
No, I don't have a problem with Muslims, Jewish people, or whatever. I don't really care. The older I get, I just become like that stereotype that we used to talk about. The older I get, the less I give a shit about what anyone else is doing. You go ahead and live your life. It doesn't impact me. You believe what you want to believe, whatever. But when you start infringing on my rights, I'm going to start to get upset about it. But you go ahead.
Yeah, in some ways, but in some ways they're doing better than us. And I mean, like they're more open-minded, not so closed-minded, and like the whole polygamy thing. It's like, well, wait a second, they might be onto something over there. Like
they're kicking our ass with architecture.
That progressive.
They are kicking our ass with architecture. That's all.
And polygamy.
Polygamy.
And they've got all these AKs, and I want an AK. I would love an AK.
Okay. There
so
he goes.
Jealous.
Thank you, James. Say bye, James. There goes James. That's the end of the show. All right, now that he's gone.
Did you AK him out of here?
I don't know. He just likes to disappear. Kelly, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Anytime you want to come on, just text me. Just say, hey, I'm available tonight. You're always welcome. Appreciate it.
Next Monday will probably be not a go because I'm going to be recovering from the weekend of my mom's celebration of life at my stepsister's house.
Yeah. No, you take whatever time you need. All right, I'm going to get out of here because I got to go try and binge watch Better Call Saul. And I need to get 20 laps in the pool. So at 10:01, I want to be out of the pool by 10:30 and binge watching. Yeah, well, you know. I'm quiet.
Time.
It's not like I'm playing Marco Polo.
Want me to call you at 5:30 in the morning when I got to get up?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
All right, thank you, Kelly. There she goes, ladies and gentlemen. Bye. The lovely and delightful Kelly Moore, appearing Kelly Moore Mondays. All right, I'll be back tomorrow for High Noon. Tip the show if you can. It goes without saying. We say that every day. Tomorrow, High Noon. Topics, current events, hot takes, trends, whatever's happening in the world. We'll cover it tomorrow at noon. We'll give you a quick little rundown on all the things that are happening in the world. Appreciate you sticking around and hanging out with us. We do this show every Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. The High Noon Show is Monday through Friday at noon. Byron says, I've known plenty of Muslims that are great people, like with any group, it's the radicals to avoid. Yeah, that's true. And, now Ed's telling me I can't go swimming. All right. Apparently we treated the pool. I'm guessing we treated the pool well. I was not paying attention. All right. Gotta go. I was saying something. There was something I was trying to... Nah, I don't know. All right, bye, everybody. Appreciate you.